Hello everybody, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the second Sunday in October. Can you believe we're in October already? How's everybody doing? That's good to hear. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff today. We've got WIPGO for October, which one part's already done, but that's okay. We've got FFOs. We've got whip updates. Yeah, so we've got a lot. First off, I actually want to offer an apology. I was brought to my attention. I had no idea when I was choosing set as an instant premiere that it was treating it like I was going live. So first off, if you were responding to me on that, I had no clue. And the only way to go back and find out that people were responding were to go back and actually watch through the stream itself. So, if you've been asking questions and I haven't been responding to them, that's why. So please feel free to ask them again here. I also didn't know, because it was doing the live thing, if you went to watch during the first, half hour or so, that it wouldn't start you at the beginning, it would just drop you in the middle of wherever I was. So, now that I know this, I won't be checking that box again. And again, I do apologize. That was not something I was aware. I thought Instant Premiere just said, oh, it's going to be live and it's going to post immediately. Not that it would do a whole big hootenanny thing that I didn't know about. So, my sincerest apologies. So feel free, of course, to drop the comments below. Yeah. Alright, so, no haul this week. The only Q&A I got was from my good friend Parkopper Bart, who asks if there are any spooky stitches you were looking forward to starting or finishing this October. And actually there's not this year, probably because I tend to be a Halloween all year long person. So I've got Wicked Siblings going, and I'm hoping to at least finish the girl this month, but that's all I've really got. So, but I don't have anything specifically planned. So, alright. So, as many of you may recall, I mentioned that I was planning to do an FF. I needed to do some finishes because it was on my WIPGO goals, and I had this week off. And unfortunately, because Mr. Asher is too young to be trusted by himself with me not in the room with him, and he's too small as well to be trusted in the craft room, I can't do any sewing style finishes. So I did a bunch of hoop finishes, which is why y'all didn't really get an FFO parade, because most of what, to a degree, a lot of what was in hoops, it was just I needed to do the finishing out part of it, and a couple of them I just needed to get the hoops for them. So, without further ado, here they are. I've got a nice stack here. So, we've got Yule U-Booking. This is by Ingleside Imaginarium. I finished it last year. I did paint this hoop. And thanks to Matt/MBC Stitcher, he sent me the link for a good tutorial, which really was, I probably could have figured out on my own, but essentially it was just I didn't know what I was doing, how to do the back part, and it's a matter of, I did two different styles. I did cinching, which I found worked better for me, but you can also lace. So, there we go. But yeah, if he hadn't sent me that, I would have still probably not done anything. Stitching Book Club logo. Finished that one last year. Sense and Sensibility. Now, this is in one of those new Anchor rubber hoops, which I wouldn't want to use for actual stitching, but for finishing, oh my gosh, they're terrific. So here it is in all its beautiful glory. Literary Alice by Bendy Stitches. We've got City Mouse and Town Mouse, and Country Mouse by Veronica and Ginger, which is in another one of the rubber hoops. All right. Then this one actually had been FFO'd, and it was in a frame, and then the frame got bumped on the wall. It fell, the frame shattered, and was not replaceable. So I put it into a hoop. This is the Little Stitchers Wizard of Oz. I did this as part of the very first Mania. It's one of the few pieces I've ever done that's actually on 40 count. And I will likely never really do 40 count again, because that's just too tiny for me, but there we go. And then finally, this big mother, which I also painted the hoop for, my Chatelaine Octopus Treasure Garden, or Treasure Cave, I'm not sure which it is. I finished this one way back in 2015, so it's finally done. So, those are my FFOs. I know, I can't believe it. And they were so easy, too. I don't know why I put it off so long. So, lesson learned, if I'm doing a hoop finish, just go ahead and finish it. Because it's not that bad. So that marked off 2 WhipGo goals. So, as of now, I have... We're going to doing this live. Because the 5 and 11 were what were pulled for this month. Well, 5 was 500 stitches on whip that was furthest from being finished, which I definitely did do, and I'll show y'all when we go over what I worked on this week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are done. So that gives me 1 whip go. 11 was 300 stitches on a Mirabilia, which I have not yet done. But I have completed, so I've done the W across completely. So that one's done. I've done I down completely. And we've done the W to O diagonal completely. So there to there. And I think that's all that we've gotten marked so far, because we still don't have... So 9 hasn't been called. 14 hasn't been called. 16 hasn't been called. And 23 hasn't been called. So depending on what gets called... Yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that haven't been called, and 1 still to complete that has been called. So we're getting there. So depending on what gets called when will depend on how many more. Oh, I've also finished all of O down. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 whip goes so far. So that's kind of exciting. All right. So my Mirabilia, for those that don't remember, this is the one that I get the 300 stitches on, is South Sea Mermaid. So here's where I am on her as of the last time I worked on her. So, pardon me, hiccup. So 300 stitches. Also, in case anyone asks, I do not remember what that fabric is that I did octopus on. I did not mark it down on my Instagram. I don't have, obviously, since it's been done now for 6 years, I don't have the project bag. I had the baggie that it had been in. I don't have the fabric label. I know it was a fabric by Stephanie. That's as much as I can tell you, unfortunately. Okay, so what all have I worked on since you saw me last? Well, my marathon piece, so I'm at 80 hours completed. I've only got 20 hours left to go, is on the Owl Forest Alice. So I've gotten parts 1, half of part 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 finished, and I've started in on 7. So this is on Charming Autumn by Xjude Designs. Some of the changes and alterations that I've made so far. So I gave the rabbit pink ears and a pink eye, and he's got a Kreinik watch outline. Obviously, Alice is a person of color, and I changed her colors to match the first color illustration of Alice. So that's why she's in a yellow dress with blue stockings. I did some tweaking, obviously, to the rabbit hole. I changed the picture. I added an old-timey oil lamp, a vase, and a perfume bottle. I do have something planned to fill in this gap here, but I'm kind of waiting. I don't think it's going to come up and be an issue, but I want to wait and make sure it's not. So that'll come back later, but that won't take very long. And then I changed the bottles to be different jellies, including the mostly empty orange marmalade. The key is in metallic, as are the door hinges and the key lock on it. And then obviously the color change on Alice's sock and shoe. And then I changed the Eat Me cake to be pink icing. And then because in the book it's described as having Eat Me done in currants, I used a dark red to do the Eat Me. And then I left Alice's head out because I'm waiting to see another full body, which I assume is probably going to be here. But a full-bodied Alice, so I can see what they do with her hair when it's under normal circumstances to figure out what I want to do with her hair. So that's the plan, at least. So that's where I got to. I've got 20 more hours to go, which will hopefully let me finish 7. My wish had been to get caught up, but I think I was just too far behind, and there's such a dense stitch that I don't think I'm going to make it. Or I won't make it for sure in 20 hours, but I think I'm just going to have to settle for the fact that I will be behind on this Sal going forward, and that's okay. I also hope to finish Witchy Dreams, which is probably what I'll work on today because part 2 came out, and I haven't started on it yet. So, what else have I worked on? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is in no particular order. So I've got inspiration from Rosewood Manor. I'm doing this with the anchor conversion. So here's the full pattern. And I got a page finish. Minus 1 stitch of one color, because I realized I didn't have that one. But that's okay. So here it is. Ba-doo! 1 page finish. I really, really love the colors in this. Let's get this up behind it so you can see a little bit better. I really love these colors. So, definitely looking forward to working on it again. I am doing, I'm back on, now that I've kind of touched everything and what I've got in my rotation I do enjoy, I'm going back to my 3 days on, 3 days worth of stitching or 1 weekend day, because that's kind of time-wise about how much 3 weekday evenings are. All right. Let's see. Oh, my work project continues to be Cryptids by the Witchy Stitcher. I got the Chupacabra done. There he is. This is on Victoria from Deerfoot Fibers. Obviously I'm doing an Orphill conversion. I gave him glittery red eyes too. But there he is. So I'll keep working on border at work this next week. I'm hoping I will be caught up at least to where he is border-wise by Friday. There's a chance I won't be, but I'm hoping I will. But it's a short week, so. What's in this bag? This bag is... this one is the, Shining Star by SamSarah. So that's the pattern itself. And here's where I got on it. So it's a little hard to tell. I'm doing this on an all wool to kind of give it a sweatery effect. And it's on Dryad Saddle from Fortnite Fabrics. The white doesn't show up as well on camera as it does in person. But we've got a mug of cocoa and a Christmas ornament and the start of a snowflake. So... Inspiration was my 500 furthest from finish, because it was basically a new start that had like 20 stitches on it, so... Okay, let's see. I got some work in on Wicked Siblings. And then discovered that I had screwed up, and so I had to do some frogging. But for those who don't know what it looks like, this one is by Mama Witch Stitch. So here is the full pattern. And here's where I'm at. This was on a one-off from Fortnite Fabrics. So that's where I'm at on her. So, but I really like this one. All right. What else did I work on? Touched a lot of things this week. I think these are... that's one. Little Women got added back onto the rotation block. This is... Oh, Strawberry Fields. So this is from Blackbird Designs. And over the course of that evening, I got... some berries done. I got most of that border done. So this is on Winterbrook from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I'm doing different specialty stitches for the different berries. I tried out doing sort of eyelet-y stitches on that one. I'm not entirely sure that I'm in love with it. But that's okay. So all that's really left of this quarter, though, is the I guess it's a fence, technically. It's the wall, the brick wall and the gate, part of the gate. And we'll get to move on to another quarter. Then we'll be a quarter of the way done, which is kind of exciting. Right, and then I worked on chickens. So, here's the pattern for chickens. And I got not a ton done on it, but I did get at least the heart and that part of the border done. So we got a decent sort of go on it. I had a little trouble figuring out my placement on things, so there was some definite redoing of my counting a time or two. So yeah. So there we have it. That is what I have worked on. So like I said, today I think I'm going to go ahead and work on, since it's just Sal and I want to get caught up, and I think I can probably get it done today. I'm going to go ahead and work on Witchy Dreams, because the last part comes out on the 15th. And based on, let's see. Based on what is included in it, I am going to go ahead and fill in that little where the 31 was, but I may wait until I get towards the bottom. But I need to go ahead and pick a black, because I'm going to leave, again, the witches won't be done just yet. I want to see how many more witches there are before I commit to them. Because I have an idea, but I want to wait and see for sure what happens in the end. But I've got an idea for the witches. So, anyhow, that's probably what I'll go ahead and work on today. Because I think it'll be a fairly quick and easy one to knock out. There's not anything that's huge blocks of color. So, yeah. So I will see you all next time. Have a great 2 weeks. And I will see y'all again the 24th.